Hello, my name is Molly. Welcome to my channel. I wanted to hop on and do a quick video about tower moments. So I use this term all the time, and I know that other people use them as well, but I kind of wanted to talk about not only the term, but what it talks about in our lives. So tower moment refers to the tower card in tarot. And the image, well, the classic image is this tower, this big stone tower, and you see people. They say one is jumping and one is falling out of a burning tower. So I'm sure everyone has their own interpretation, but the idea being, and I've heard that the tower is actually like a jail. So I don't know if that's like the technical definition of it, but for me, okay, these tower moments are when we have these things that are, we think, set structures in our lives usually, and they come crumbling down. So it can be a variety of things, right? It can be a marriage, it can be a home, it can be your financial stability, it can be a relationship, something in your life that feels very sturdy. Maybe the loss of a loved one that just completely wrecks your reality in your life. So any of these moments, and it's not a small thing, right? So these are big moments that you're going to remember 10 years from now, 20 years from now. So those are tower moments. And I believe we usually have a choice here. So we can either jump from the tower before it falls apart. We can listen to our guidance. We can see the warning signs. We can choose to understand it and choose to deal with it, whatever it is, or we can wait, and then that usually involves some kind of a push, right? For example, let's say you're in a job that's really not good. You hate it every single day. You're miserable. You're literally just going there because of the money, and the money's maybe not even that good. You just do it because you think you have to do it, and it's your stability, and you have to pay your bills and whatever the case may be. So let's say all these times, and maybe there was a job over here that was offered, but you didn't really know, and you kind of blew it off, and all these little things usually happen before. And then all of a sudden one day you come in and you lost your job, and now you feel completely lost, and like everything's taken away. And a lot of times, sometimes these tower moments can really pile up. So it could be like you lose this job that you really hated, and you lose your house that you really hated, and you lose your significant other that you really hated. But all those things kind of could come at once, and you're like, oh my god, my whole life, like what's wrong with my whole life? But the reality, or I shouldn't say reality, but very oftentimes there were signs and signals about each situation before the moment ever happened, that perhaps we choose to ignore or put our head in the sand, and just say, well, you know what, this is fine, or you make excuses, or you justify it, or whatever the case may be. Not to say that there can't be truly jolting and surprising tower moments, but I would say even with those, there's usually things that just haven't really, you didn't want to think about, you didn't want to pay attention to, or you just, didn't want to deal with it, or whatever the case may be. So now we have this idea of what the tower moment is. It's something really jolting that's happened to your life that you perhaps feel like the rug or the whole building has been jerked out from under your feet. So for me, that idea of that tower is, this is a tower that you've actually built, right? It's just, which speaks to like, building your own prison in a sense, really, right? But so you built this tower. All right. Now, what did you build your tower on? What were the beliefs that you built your tower on? What went into this tower? Did you sacrifice? Did you lessen yourself? Did you lie to yourself? Did you, because usually if it's a tower moment, the thing that's gone wasn't very good for you, from a higher perspective, and sometimes from our own perspective. How many things did you do that weren't good for you, that weren't in alignment for you, that led you to building this, this cage or this tower, or these beliefs that you kind of found yourself stuck in. A lot of times we always feel, stuck in things that when you really realize it, we often create ourselves. So the tower is truly, a blessing. Might get a little pushback on that, but because it wasn't built to last. These are not things, we are not meant to always lessen ourselves. We are not meant to put ourselves in situations that we don't feel fulfilled and we don't feel happy and we don't feel, so the reality is, then the next time, now you can build the same tower, you can go find the same job at a different company, or the same kind of relationships, just a different person. You can do that. More than likely that tower is going to fall again, and then you're going to say, oh, why does this keep happening to me? Well, it's probably because you keep trying to build the same tower on the same stuff that's not right for you, right? So the next question is, when those tower moments occur, when you have those experiences, do you then pull some lessons from it and say, okay, well, I wasn't really listening to myself, but this wasn't good for me, this didn't feel right, I did make these choices, I did do these things. And then you can start to build a better foundation for yourself, and a true structure, and something that really will last for a lifetime, or longer. But what are you putting your energy into? What are you learning? Are you learning and growing, or are you trying to stuff yourself inside of a box and lessen yourself? I know it sounds simple, but this often goes right back into, what are my beliefs? What do I believe about myself? What do I believe about others? But once you get in there and you do that work and you learn about those things, then you have the clarity to say, okay, well, you know what, this is actually more to my true self, to my true purpose. This is fulfilling for me. So just a little thought. I actually know quite a few people, myself included, that have had quite a few tower moments going on. So I wanted to kind of just speak on that energy. We do have these. I say everyone experiences these moments, and oftentimes they can really feel like, there's nothing that we can do, and we're just victims of whatever the circumstance is. But I would argue that we're never victims. There's always, even in the most dire situations, something to learn and something to grow, to help us to grow, and become stronger and more aligned in our lives. So I hope that this was helpful. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.